Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, I want to talk to you about the power of knowing how to pay the least amount of tax. I'm going to be covering that and several other quick topics this coming Tuesday at retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. It's a complimentary log on to learn educational webinar where many of you, boomers and retirees, either trying to get to retirement or better through retirement, are saying, Chuck, what can we do to protect ourselves in 2022? Well, folks, the number one way to stay ahead of this runaway inflation is to make sure that you have the power of knowing what it means and how, and having the means of learning how to pay the least amount of taxation is the greatest way to fend off inflation. But also taking advantage, if somebody said to you, this is the lowest tax rates are ever going to be for the rest of your life, how would you interpret that? What would you do differently? Because I'm kind of taken back that it's taken some clients taking the time to watch this educational webinar, talk about the tax setup that the government has for you and I, that have the better plan for us than we have for ourselves, and that all of a sudden they get into these required minimum distributions because they waited too long, and now they're saying, I wish I would have done something more about these taxes years ago. Folks, don't let that be you. And if that is you and you're listening and you're saying, Chuck, you're talking to me, the great news is there's things you can still do about that. I think of clients that we met with this week from Colorado, Florida, Illinois, North Carolina, all in the same boat. All had predominantly saved almost every retirement dollar they have in a tax-deferred account that is a ticking tax time bomb, like a former 401k or an IRA, or maybe some of you already have not even had a chance to move over your 401k, or some of you are actually still working. Some of you may even be in the process of trying to transition and not know the best way to do that. Folks, I'm going to teach you this Tuesday at retirementprotected.com, the power of knowing how to pay the least amount of tax, the best amount to Roth convert, how to use the power of knowing how to use tax deductions to create tax savings to offset your Roth conversions. And if, in fact, it turns out to be true that the tax rates will never be lower for some of us watching this for the rest of our lives, so you don't kick yourself saying, why didn't I take advantage of this sooner? The power of knowing how you can take advantage of that to your advantage. In other words, while tax rates are higher, right, or before they go higher, so while tax rates are lower, I should say, and while account values are for many of you, right, that are in retail, you're down 10, 20, 30, 40%, before those go back up, get that in an environment to take advantage of paying the least amount of tax so you can grow without tax. And as this thing rebounds, and the market will come back, right? Especially if you learn some of the things I'll teach you this Tuesday about how not to suffer through this retail craziness of being down in these 60-40 portfolios and down 20%. Our clients are not panicked, but they're also not panicked because they know they're not mounting up future unnecessary taxes. So don't let that be you that has to tell your older self, tells your younger self, like a retired CPA of ours said, that if I could go back, my older self would tell my younger self, I would have paid far better and greater attention to taxes, and I wouldn't have put anywhere near what I put into these 401ks and IRAs, maybe not even put the first dollar in one, knowing what I know now. Folks, don't let that be you. You worked hard for your money. Imagine more financial success, less stress, less worry, less tax, less inflation through removing unnecessary taxation and taking advantage of the timing and the shifting to do that. Learn how you can be a low tax or a no tax retiree. I'll teach you this Tuesday, retirementprotected.com, retirementprotected.com, the power of knowing how to take advantage of taxes so that taxes don't take advantage of you.